What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Getting Started series for ZBrush 2026.1. In today's video, we're going to be covering the Retopology brush and all the basic functions that you need to know to get started. So to use the Retopology brush, all we need to do to activate it is to go to our brush menu, and then you can go ahead and come on down to the Retopology brush. We can hit R on the keyboard to shortcut to see the brush that it is. So in this case, the default shortcut hotkeys are going to be B for brush, R for retopo, and E. Now when you first pick this brush, you might notice a few different things. In a previous video, we talked about IMM brushes and how they are foldered, and that's one of the very first things you'll notice is a new foldering system for this brush, as well as a ton of assets that actually ship with this brush, which we are going to get into in a later video. To activate Retopology, all we need to do is anywhere on the surface that we see, we just need to go ahead and left click one time, and it's going to pop up this menu that's going to ask you a question if you would like to create a new retopo mesh. If you press yes, then you'll get a brand new subtool that is specifically for retopology. If you say no, then it will actually go ahead and allow you to edit the mesh that you're currently selected on. In this case, what we want to do is we want to retopo our character from scratch, which means we do want a new subtool. So we're just going to go ahead and say yes. The one thing you'll notice immediately is your entire sculpt will turn gray. That is because we turn on transparency mode and we turn off ghosting. This way you could see a lot easier when you're applying points to your model. You may also notice that you're going to get a new subtool, and in this case it was auto renamed to retopo_1. Now to start retopologizing, all we need to do is just left click anywhere in our model one time, and you're going to go ahead and place a point. And if you place, let's say, 3 more points, giving us a quad, then this will allow us to put a quad right in this sector. If we go ahead and press the space bar, that's going to give us a secondary draw size. And as you can see, by pressing the space bar, I can now place a quad here just by left clicking the mouse button one time. What makes this brush really unique is the fact that you can actually retopologize multiple subtools at the same time to one retopo subtool. Meaning if I were to go ahead and zoom in on the body and the sphere of this character, and I go ahead and start placing points, by pressing the space bar and clicking, you can see here that now it is adhering to the actual mesh that is underneath, and it's always snapping to the surface of the underlining subtools. So any and all visible subtools that you have when you start retopologizing are automatically respected. And of course, this brush respects symmetry. So if I press X on the keyboard one time, it's going to go ahead and turn on symmetry, which of course will allow me to start clicking points in a symmetrical fashion. And by pressing and holding the space bar, I can now come through and add my points and keep things symmetrical during my entire retopology phase. As we're retopologizing, of course, we're going to want to move points around, so you can click any point or any edge and move it as needed. You also do have 2 draw sizes. So at default, you actually have the 1 draw size, which is dedicating to moving and extruding points or edges. So if I press S on the keyboard, I can adjust this draw size to be really small or really big. But by pressing and holding the space bar, that activates a second draw size, which will control how you can actually commit to your quads. And so as I'm pressing and holding the space bar, I can press and hold S, and I can have a bigger draw size or smaller draw size for this secondary brush. Additionally, we can extrude any edge or any point just by simply pressing and holding the Alt button, hovering over the edge we want to extrude, left clicking and drawing this out. And of course, if we hover over a point, press and hold Alt, we can go ahead and drag out another vertice, let go, giving us a perfect quad. So at any point in time, as I'm laying down points, putting a spot, I can go ahead and just drag out another one. And if I'm in between 2 quads and I press and hold Alt and drag out, and then I let go of Alt as I'm dragging, it will now allow me to have 2 triangles at that intersecting point. And as I'm extruding an edge or a point, as soon as one vertice gets close to another, it will go ahead and auto snap. Furthermore, if there are 2 points that are already existing and I want to bring these together and have them weld, all I need to do is drag one point and bring it to the closest edge, and it will snap to that surface. And as we're retopologizing, there might be a point in which we have a ton of different points that we need to get rid of quickly. And so to do that, just go ahead and press and hold Control and drag out your mask in empty space, just like you would for Dynamesh. And then when you let go, it'll automatically clear all of those points that were not committed into any geometry. And as we're retopologizing, we may need to add additional edge loops. To do so, just hover over any edge, press and hold the space bar, and left click. And you can see now that I'm able to actually put in a new edge loop. And to commit to that, just go ahead and let go of the spacebar. I also can get rid of any quads or edge loops that I do not need. So if I press and hold Alt and click one time on any quad, I can go ahead and delete those points. And notice here I'm actually seeing these points now remaining after I delete each quad. That's because I may want to repurpose this at any point in time. But like I showed you earlier, Control drag to clear those out. And if I want to delete a specific edge loop, just go ahead and press and hold Alt and drag from one quad to another with that edge loop in the middle, and that will delete that edge loop. In addition, if you have single-sided geometry that you would like to edit, if I click anywhere on this mesh, it's going to go ahead and ask me, like before, if I want to create a new retopo mesh or if I would like to convert it into a current one. So I'm going to go ahead and say no, which will convert this mesh into a mesh that the Retopology brush can now edit. So what you might notice is that the subtool actually gets an orange box around it and everything goes into transparency mode. And now the brush can actually edit this mesh as intended. That's going to go ahead and cover part 1. In part 2, we're going to cover more advanced features with the Retopology brush. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.